We need to talk about the food situation in Iran and how the blockade is affecting it because it's getting very critical. And I'm not against the blockade because the blockade is very successful when it comes to weakening the Islamic Republic and getting to a point where we'll get closer to toppling the Islamic Republic, which is the main priority of the Iranian people. So the blockade is working, and I'm not against the blockade, but the food situation right now in Iran is demonstrating how important it is to not just rely on the blockade. And we need to do so much more to be able to end the situation and free the Iranian people and get rid of the Islamic Republic. My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with connections to anti-regime Iranians inside Iran and with decades of activism against the Islamic Republic inside Iran and outside of Iran. The current blockade has cut off a major part of livestock feed and essential fertilizer imports. And it's not just the numbers that show us how critical the situation is. I'm in touch with my friends inside Iran, and they are telling me that the situation is really bad. Not only the cost of everything has increased dramatically, their income levels have lowered dramatically, and also many people have completely lost their job. We're not talking about people who are already experiencing poverty. We're talking about people within the middle class that can't right now afford basic essentials. Food prices have increased to beyond the reach of your average citizen, and some basic essential food is now turning into a luxury. So year over year, cooking oil is up 375%, rice is up 209%, chicken, eggs close to 200%, and traditional bread is up 140%. Iran's food security highly depends on maritime trade, and now most of it is completely stopped. Most of the soy and corn that you use to feed the chicken and the cattle, most of that is imported. So with the blockade, the meat industry in Iran is close to an extinction level crisis. The overland routes through Pakistan and also the trade route through the Caspian Sea, that is helping a bit, but that is only 25% of the need here. But also on top of that, the domestic production of fertilizer has also been dramatically hit because of the war. So that means that the upcoming local harvest is predicted to be 40% smaller than before. So add that on top of all the problems that is caused by the blockade plus the war. Before I continue, I want to emphasize that the only people to blame here is the Islamic Republic and the Islamic Republic officials. And the Iranian people know that. The Iranian people are not blaming the Americans or the Israelis. The Iranian people are blaming the Islamic Republic. And the Iranian people still, after experiencing this, are communicating that they want an uprising and they want the Americans and Israelis to continue their pressures against the Islamic Republic. I was mentioning that these are not just numbers, and I'm hearing from inside Iran regarding how dire the situation is, but I'm also hearing from the same people that they don't want the Americans and Israelis to stop the pressure and they can't wait for the next uprising. I'm telling you all of this not to suggest that the Americans and the Israelis should remove their pressure, should stop attacking the Islamic Republic, should remove the blockade. I'm telling you all of this to say that we need more pressure on the Islamic Republic in many other ways, because this blockade alone is causing a lot of suffering by the Iranian people. We need to get to toppling the Islamic Republic a lot faster than just relying on a blockade that is designed to bring them to the negotiating table and for them to surrender to the Americans. That takes way too long. We need to be attacking the Islamic Republic a lot more aggressively. And more important than anything else, we need to be arming the Iranian people. So let me tell you how all of this has changed the way the Iranian people live and how does that cause health concerns, especially to children. Some people assume that the current conditions means that the Iranian people would be living in conditions where they would not be motivated to do an uprising anymore. But that's not what I'm getting from Iran. What I'm getting is that, especially more recently, the drive and motivation and the energy for the next uprising has increased, not decreased. So meat has turned into a luxury good. People are replacing it with soy protein flakes or legumes. And for the poorer segment of society, which is 40% of the society, many of them are just relying only on bread and tea. 1.5 million people have been displaced, living in camps with very little food security. And many of the traditional food that the Iranian people eat on a regular basis has now been replaced with what they call a scraps-based kitchen economy. We're seeing a surge of wasting and stunting in children, up to 9% in border provinces like Sistan, Baluchistan. And for children, we have a lot of malnutrition deficiency. We have more than 60% of children not getting enough zinc, iron, vitamin D, and this is because of lack of dairy and vegetables in their diet. And if this continues, by June, we could get to starvation level crisis. But when it comes to basic needs, we also have another crisis beyond food prices and lack of access to food is the healthcare situation. There are many people who don't have access to healthcare at all right now. And for many other people, the prices are unaffordable. Doctor visits are unaffordable. Medicine is unaffordable. Basic surgeries are unaffordable. And this is even among people who used to be able to afford these. I think it's important for the rest of the world to care about this. The Iranian people are the people that you want on your side. Most of the problems in the world right now can be fought against with the values and the ideas exactly the ones that the Iranian people have. These are people with a mindset so much more aligned with Western values. And globally, these are the people that you want on your side against enemies of liberty. Caring about the Iranian people is a good investment for not just the future of Iran, not just the future of the Middle East, but also for the future of the planet. And I just want you to pay attention to this and just show some care for what's happening to the Iranian people and try to do whatever you can within your powers to push politicians in the direction that we could finally get rid of the Islamic Republic completely and liberate the Iranian people. And I do think that one of the main things that we should be advocating for is empowering the Iranian people themselves to be able to liberate themselves. And nothing, I think, can get us closer to that more than arming the Iranian people. We need all of this. We need the assassinations of regime officials. We need the targeted bombardments. We need the blockade. We do need Operation Economic Fury. We need to close down all the loopholes, all the financial institutions that the Islamic Republic uses to bypass the sanctions. We do need the taking over of the cryptocurrency wallets that the Islamic Republic is using. But on top of that, we also need to vet, train, and arm the Iranian people, so that they could get to a position where they could rely more on themselves as well as getting help from the outside to finally get rid of the Islamic Republic. If you agree or disagree with me on this, come talk to me and the rest of the people in our discussion group. The link to the discussion group is in the description. It's in the bio of this channel. It's on the QR code on the screen that if you scan that, it will take you to the discussion group. I'm there almost every day, but there's also a lot of other people there every day that are talking about this and many other political related topics on a daily basis. So come join us there. We're trying to grow this community to a base of operations against all the enemies of liberty globally. On top of that, leave a comment here. Let me know if this video is helpful. I take your feedback very seriously. I'll try to adjust my videos based on the feedback that you give me. My name is Armin Navabi. I'm Israel Chai. Long live America. Javid Shah. Payande Iran.